What is going on, guys and gals? My name is Schematocles, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from the norm, and that is flying this A-10C Warthog in combat in DCS World. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll talk about the mission after we're kind of started up here. Running the track IR today, so hopefully we don't have too many issues with that. Alright, let's get the inverter flipped on. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and come over here and flip on the fuel boost pumps, and then I'm going to go ahead and start up the APU, and we'll close the canopy so that's not too annoying. I'm going to go ahead and call the Nellis A-10C, which is where we are today in Vegas, and we're going to get our startup clearance from them. We're in a 4-ship of A-10 Charlies today, so pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get everything else started. Get the radios set up. Get the APU gen online. We'll probably have to redo that call, right? Because the radios weren't up yet. Let's try that again. Should work this time. Okay, good to go. So we've got our startup cleared. Go ahead and close out the ATC menu and proceed to continue setting up the aircraft. Uncage the secondary attitude indicator. Good to go. Get the MFDs up. The anti-skid turned on. We'll get our taxi lights up, and we'll go ahead and start the left engine. Get our countermeasures set. You can hear the radar warning come online. Get the nav set up. Get oxygen flow. Defog. Pitot heat. And then we'll get the ILS and the TAC hands set up here. Get our position to flash since we're starting. Alright, and that's basically just telling me to turn off the APU generator, which is fine. So we're now on engine power. Now that the MFDs are up, I'm going to go ahead and hit load all twice. And that's going to load our armament, which is, today it's going to be 2 AGM 65 deltas on either wing, so that's a 4 missile total. And we got, I think, 4 CBU 97 cluster bombs, or canister bombs, so that's cool. We're going to be attacking an armored column. I'm going to go ahead and start the right engine here. But we'll talk a little bit more about the mission specifics once we're kind of up in the air, I guess. Okay, I need to go ahead and flip on my stability augmentation. So it's good to go. On the ejection seat. Alright, and the next thing would be to get our radar altimeter working. And really, other than that, we're just waiting for a nav alignment process to complete. Go ahead and get flaps 1 for takeoff. So we have a designated takeoff time of about 8:45, and you can see over here on the HUD that it's about 5 minutes before that, so we need to get rolling relatively soon. Have to restart the CICU. Sometimes it won't actually load the weapons, which is kind of annoying. So you have to try it again. Get the nose wheel steering turned on. Get the TGP warming up. The TGP is the targeting pod, which is it's this pod right here on our right wing. So that's actually how we're gonna manually kind of pick out most of the targets that we engage today. So hopefully this is gonna go well. I'm still relatively new to the A-10 and its weapon systems, so I'm definitely a noob. I'm sure that a lot of the things that I'm gonna do here I'm gonna do incorrectly, but I'm just doing my best. So be gentle with me. Okay. Alright, let's hit load all. I'm going to switch the right MFD over to the CDU. Actually, we're going to wait, I guess, because the DTS is uploading. There we go. Okay, weapons are online. Look at the CDU. So this is our alignment process. Once this gets to 4.0 and 0.8, we'll be good to go. What I will do is go ahead and set up the laser Mavericks that we have, or they're actually IR Mavericks. So to do that, I'm going to type in some numbers here. I actually have no idea what these do, but they seem to work. So waypoint 8 is going to be our target today, and 15 minutes will be the time for setup. Okay, and we'll turn them on and let the Mavericks warm up. You can normally do this in the air. I just like to kind of get everything started on the ground. Alright, anything else? Takeoff trim. Set the autopilot for path since we're going to be climbing. And set the altimeter very quickly. Alright, so we're a little bit behind. Hopefully we'll make this takeoff time. If not, it doesn't really matter. There's plenty of time on the flight into the combat area for us to make up for any time we lose here. But basically, as soon as the alignment's done, we're good to go. Go ahead and turn off the APU while we're thinking about it. Don't need it, hopefully, again. Okay, so this starts flashing nav ready, so we flip this over to nav, and then down here we can flip this over to the EGI, and that will allow us to engage the autopilot, and we should have no cautionary warnings, so it's good to go. So at this point we can actually go ahead and request taxi from Nellis ATC.
Hog 2-1, request taxi to runway.
And the rest of our 4-ship will come with us. We're the flight lead, I guess. Clear to taxi to runway 3, Hawk 2-1. Okay, so we got about 2.5 minutes to make it over to the runway there for our designated takeoff time. So I've actually been having a blast with this airplane. It's super fun. Really is. Once you kind of get into the weapon systems a little bit more, it's pretty amazing what you can accomplish with this airplane. Okay, I'm going to flip this over to the tactical awareness display, which is basically just the map. And we'll remove the actual map just so I can kind of see the waypoints and stuff. So we want to set up our initial steering point for the departure point, which is going to be off the end of runway 3. So I saw that we reached over 1,000 subs on the channel, which is just fantastic. Really can't thank you guys enough for that. That's really something. In a little bit over a year on YouTube, at least on the flight sim side of things, gotten over 1,000 subs. So again, thank you guys for that support. I know I haven't been the most consistent with uploading videos, but I figured I would do something at the very least to say thank you for that. Okay, so the Mavs are online now, but we've got our master arms safe. We can actually flip this down to train to see what the Maverick sees. We'll flip it back to safe. Some F-15s. There's going to be a lot of F-15s in this flight today as well. So basically the mission objective is for us to fly up north of Nellis over toward the Tonopah Range Complex. Then we're going to hit some enemy armored columns that are defended by Russian SA-19s out in that vicinity. This is actually the red flag campaign for DCS. I think it's the 4th mission or so, if you care about that. So it's one of the earlier ones, I guess. Alright, and we're just about 30 seconds late on that takeoff time, but that's okay, because like I said, I almost always get to the target area early. all those beeps you're hearing, that's the radar warning indicator, so that'll be going off pretty much constantly while we're flying. Okay, so we should get our takeoff clearance as soon as we taxi onto the active. We don't really need to call them up.
Unable to clear for takeoff.
He'll change that.
Hold 2-1. You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 28.18.
Alright, clear for takeoff, Octave 1. Here we go. Okay, so the takeoff procedure is basically just to run her up. Once we hit 50 knots, we'll disengage the nose wheel steering and just fly with the rudder. Okay, nose wheel steering's off. We'll rotate around 150 knots. Got a lot of weapons on board today, so we're pretty heavy, full load of fuel as well. Frame rate should go up as we get off the ground here. It's just struggling to render all this stuff simultaneously. I got a new GPU, by the way. It is a 1080 Ti, so it's got lots of VRAM, which is fantastic for flight sims. Alright, and we are up. Gears coming up. Flaps are coming up. Alright. Autopilot is on for path. So that'll let us continue to climb. Let's make sure we've got our lights off here. Actually going to go ahead and turn off the position lights, which I should have flipped to steady. Also should have my landing lights off, or on for that takeoff, but that's alright. Not a huge deal, we'll just assume it's combat. Don't want any lights on. There's a racetrack down there, that's cool. This is the same Nevada map that I flew in the Spitfire video a few months ago. Okay, so we got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to the first steer point. We're going to need every bit of that because the flight has to kind of get up here and catch up with us. I'm going to reset my track IR. Let's see if I can get, yeah, a little bit better range of motion on it. Okay, so we're going to climb up to about 12,000 feet. And we'll stay in that block really until we get to the target area. And then depending on what we see there, we may go lower. 2 is rolling. Got some coffee. Flying a combat mission. Very cool. I got inspired to play this. I read what is the book called? Viper Pilot by Dan Hamilton. Basically, he's an F-16 Wild Weasel. Really, really cool book. So I kind of decided I would
warning autopilot.
make an attempt to fly some combat in DCS, which I'd never really done before a few days ago. And it's quite tedious at first, but you really learn a lot from it very quickly. Okay, 2 is wheels up, so 3 should start rolling any moment. Yeah. Okay, so we're 35 seconds from this first steer point. And once we get there, we're going to turn out to the west. And that's going to be to the Sally Corridor entrance. So let me, well, actually, once we make this turn, I'll do that. Show you exactly what's going to be going on. Go ahead and reduce thrust just a bit. Okay, I'm going to make the turn to steer point 2 now. Okay, so 2 is rejoining the formation. So there's some F-15 radars on the RWR way out there that you can see. 3 is rejoining. 4 should be wheels up. I didn't hear that call. Okay, and again, we're just gonna kind of point it in the general vicinity of the steer point. I'm going to go ahead and change back to mean sea level on the altimeter.
On station at bullseye 068. 4, rejoin.
There's a lot of radio chatter right now because we're hearing all the different flights. Okay, so that's pretty good. We got about 5 minutes until we hit the next waypoint, so I'll kind of trim for a little bit slower rate of climb. Maybe not that slow. It was rate of descent. Okay, then we'll go ahead and pop path. Okay, so just to show you what we're doing. So here's our flight. Again, we just took off from Nellis Air Force Base right here. So we're going to fly up to the Sally Corridor, it's called, which basically runs kind of northeast, this little elbow region. Up to, I think the point is called Student. Then we're going to come west in this general vicinity, kind of where you see these F-15s here. So once we come west, that's called our fence-in check, which is basically just where we get all our weapon systems up and running in anticipation for an engagement. So basically what the situation will be, this is an area called the farm, and we anticipate that there will be an armored column with approximately 10 T-90s and 10 IFVs moving southeast along this corridor, escorted by at least one SA-19 SAM. So we'll have our engagement up here, and that's more or less all there is to it. There will be secondary target zones, I think, off to the southwest if we have ordnance remaining. Let me go ahead and check, make sure we're not stalling or anything. Okay, good to go. So once we hit the secondary targets, we will push to, I think, Caliente, and then we're going to come back south and land at Nellis. Hopefully safe and sound. This is live ammunition. I know it's supposed to be a training operation, red flag, but in DCS it's treated as an actual combat situation. So we will be getting shot at. Hopefully not too much. FPS is kind of smoothing out now that we're off the ground, so that's great. Okay, so we are at the assigned altitude block. I'll go ahead and push the nose forward here.
Autopilot.
Yeah, I know. Alright, we'll switch that over to altitude and heading. Kind of cheat our way left a bit. There we go. Okay, so we have a push time at waypoint 6 of 0918. So let's pop out to waypoint 6, and it looks like we're going to be very early. So it's 8:53 right now, and we're going to be there in 15 minutes. So we need to pull back. We're going too fast. So a push time, I guess, just basically means that's when you fence in and they go onto the target. And we have an invulnerability time of 0942, so that gives us about 24 minutes on target. We have to contact a JTAC, or what is it, a Joint Tactical Air Controller. He's basically, I think that's the correct terminology. But he's basically just a guy on the ground who knows how to call in airstrikes. So he gives us 9 lines and stuff. Alright, I do not have to visual. I'm going to keep pulling back on that throttle. Look at an external view here. She is a fierce bird. The Warthog, or the Thunderbolt too. It's lovingly referred to as the Warthog, though. Kind of a similar deal with the Fighting Falcon and the Viper. Nobody calls it a Fighting Falcon, although that's the technical designation. Same with this airplane. So you'll see our time of arrival will have gone up for waypoint 6. Yeah, so it went up to about 18 minutes since we've slowed down. Okay, go ahead and switch to waypoint 3, which will be to the north. And then on the TAD, I can see when I actually cross the waypoint. I still don't have a visual on the rest of my flight. They're really taking their time. Looks like we're going to get passed by either, this would be either F-18s or F-15s. Going to do some SEAD, suppression of enemy air defense stuff. Whatever it is they do, they go and kill radar-guided SAMs. So there are a lot of airplanes up in the air. That is my max performance warning. Basically means if I keep pulling, I'm gonna get myself into a accelerated stall. Add a little bit of power, climb up back to our sign block, which is 12,000 to 15,000 feet. Okay, that is going to be hog 2-2 right there. And then you can hear, those are 18s going overhead right now. Very cool. So I can't actually guarantee that I'm going to pull this mission off successfully. It's actually very difficult to engage armor columns with an A-10. It can be very tricky. So hopefully we don't get shot down, but I'm probably going to upload this either way, since I haven't put anything up in a while. It's been rather hectic for me over the last 3 months. I know that I keep saying that. But that's just the way it is, I guess. That's the nature of what I do for a living. Also, I've been reading, what's it called? A book called Hunter Killer. And I don't remember the guy who wrote that at all. But it's about the Predator, the MQ-1. And there's the rest of our flight off the right wing there. And force and trail, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and up the power just a bit so we don't stall. But anyway, it's kind of about the first time that the combat prowess of the Predator, or basically just its worth for ISR and for armed combat missions was kind of realized. It actually took quite a while for the Air Force to kind of figure out what it was all about and what they could use it for. And this guy was kind of one of the mission commanders during that time period. Very interesting book thus far. There was a part that they were talking about. They thought they saw Osama bin Laden. This was prior to his death. And they were trying to get cleared for a Hellfire shot, and basically it got canceled by someone higher up. That's the last part I read. So not really too sure why that happened yet. Okay. Let's see. So it's almost 0900. Okay, we're about 11 minutes out from the push point. I'm gonna pull back again on that throttle. It's another Hornet passing by, flight. Cool. So this is more or less friendly territory that we're flying over right now. We don't really have to worry about enemy activity until we make that sweeping turn to the west, which will happen at waypoint 5, Marshall. Okay, so I can introduce some of the sensors just very briefly here. So one of the most commonly used ones will be the TGP, or the targeting pod. And basically, when I click on this thing, I make it my sensor of interest, or SOI. And then on the HUD, you can see that there's this diamond here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to slew that down using my keyboard to an area that I'm interested in, and this will probably be a target location. And then I can go ahead and mark that as a point. Then I can make it a sensor point of interest, and this is all done with the HOTAS. And then I can come over to the DSMS, select a Maverick missile, master arms to safe, so we'll go ahead and flip that to train just so you can see what I'm talking about. But basically, I can slave that Maverick to where I just pointed with the TGP. And if there were something here, I could lock it and shoot. So the TGP is probably the most useful kind of sensor that you have. So you can do cool stuff with it. There's a targeting laser on the TGP. We can also set up our CBUs in what's called CCRP mode. That's interesting. There's actually a SA-10 or something out there. And basically, for our SOI, our sensor point of interest, our SPI, if that's a target, then we can overfly in CCRP mode, and it'll basically tell us exactly when this staple kind of falls through this targeting reticle. That's where we need to drop our bombs to get a good impact. So, very cool capabilities that this airplane has. Go ahead and turn out to waypoint 4. It's Caliente. So that's just kind of a brief overview. I'm still learning kind of how to integrate all these sensors and everything myself, but I think I've kind of got my methodology down. So you can see it says gimbal limits on the MAV screen right now. So basically that is happening because we're overflying the sensor point of interest. So what I can do is I can flip the MAV back to SOI, and then I can do a keyboard command to bore sight the MAV. So it's basically just going to look straight up. There we go. I can do the same thing for the TGP. We'll bore sight that guy just so that we don't have to worry about where it's at later on. Okay. So we're safed, and we're looking at about 7 minutes inbound to waypoint 4, about 11 minutes inbound to the push point, so we'll be about 5 minutes early probably. So once we kind of get on target, I'm going to do my best to just take it slow, not rush anything, because that tends to be how you get yourself into trouble. So we'll make the best of our time on target, I guess. Be very safe about it and try and return back to Nellis. All 4 of us in one piece. So these are all the other flights that are going to do other things. Most of them are suppressing enemy air defenses. A few will be overhead when we make that turn to the west, and they'll be engaging MiG-29s and other fighters. That could be a problem for us. So depending on how many SA-19s we see, I will either take one. I'll probably just take one shot with a AGM-65 from relatively far out, just so that we don't get inside that SAM's engagement distance, because we don't want to defend against it. That would not be fun. Make sure I'm pointed in the right direction here. Okay. Steer point needs to be 4. Yeah, we're good. So I'll probably have to shoot if we see any additional SA-19s. So once we've kind of confirmed that the SA-19 or SA-19s are down, then we'll go in closer with the CBUs and basically just drop those on the armor.
Pontiac 1, passing Irish.
So when you hear passing Irish, that's a mountain that we'll fly by in a bit, and that's basically kind of it marks the boundary between the Allies and the Russian forces. Okay, 4 minutes still. Lots of time to reflect, and it's really frustrating because sometimes you'll just get out here and get shot down almost immediately, and that really stinks when that happens. But you learn from it, I guess. What I try to do is set up scenarios that are similar in the mission editor that don't take as much time to get on target, and that way you can kind of get all your methodology and everything kind of locked up. Okay, 7 minutes to the push. So we're still 5 minutes early. I will push early if we get out there. I just don't want to loiter in enemy territory. Let's get the tab back up. You can see we got some 15s or some 18s overhead. There they are. Hear them tickling us with their radar.
9 o'clock.
What are you?
2, spike, 9 o'clock.
Looks like a 15. It could be a 18, I can't tell. It's too far. Alright, I'm gonna cheat back to the left here so that we are headed right at Caliente. Okay, so they're gonna start saying stuff a lot. So bullseye 061 for 45. That basically means that from the bullseye, which I guess is Russian territory, it's at heading 061, which would be kind of to the northeast. At however many miles he said, for whatever number of miles. I don't actually really look at things in terms of the bullseye most of the time. It's almost easier to just mark it with the TGP on the tab. I'm like mushing here. I need to throttle up. Okay. 2 minutes to Marshall. DCS is just really well optimized for how nice it looks. Fantastic. Fantastic job that they did on this. So actually, the FA-18 Charlie, the Baby Hornet, is going to be coming out in this game relatively soon. It's supposed to be like kind of the spiritual successor to the A-10, I guess, which will be very awesome when that happens in a couple months. So when he says mud spike, I guess that means from the ground, like a SAM is seeing us with his radar, spiking us with his radar. Somebody else is overflying us. More fighters. They get to go do all the fun stuff up in the sky, and we're just kind of down here in the dirt. There are actually red flag campaigns for the F-15 in this game, and I'm guessing there will be for the F-18 as well once that comes out. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and switch to steer point 5. And I will make that turn. Okay. 4 minutes out from the push point, so we're still early. But again, there's not way too much that you can do about that if you don't want to hang out in enemy territory. Okay, so those would be fighters. 056 for 60 at 22,000. So that'd be in this general vicinity up here. Maybe out here. I don't know if you can see contrails at 22,000 feet or not. We'll see if they actually fight that high. So basically those airplanes would try and kill us if the F-15s and the F-18s didn't take care of them. So we're glad that they're up there doing that today, for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize, but if this starts to get really busy, then I'll have to stop speaking and just defend, or whatever it is that I've got to do, because it can definitely be hard to talk and maintain all the A-10 sensors at the same time. Okay, so we're about 1 minute and 40 seconds from turn west to the push point, where we will fence in. We'll just kind of see how things go at the primary target and make a decision about whether or not we're going to hit secondary targets at that point. We do have a 4-ship flight, so there's a lot of firepower 4 A-10s can bring to bear. Fuel check, plenty of gas. Alright, 30 seconds from fence in. And that west bound turn. You see somebody going to do something. Looks like he may have a SA-10 or something out there. He's going to engage. Alright, let's go ahead and make this west turn.
Warning, autopilot.
To waypoint 6. Alright. Okay, so now that we are set up on the autopilot, go ahead and fence in. So hogfight, fence in. So that means master arm on, gun pack arm on, laser arm on, and then we will come down to the countermeasure dispenser and flip that into semi for right now. And we are ready to fight at this point. So you can see up ahead there that there is something going on. I'm guessing these are MiGs. They're gonna fight our boys. Not sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go TGP on the right display here. We'll flip out. That's waypoint 7, 8 minutes out. And there's the target location. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of... Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Need to have TGP as my sensor of interest. Just kind of look around in the vicinity of these mountains that we're going to overfly. Make sure we don't see any Russian special forces with man pads out there. Doesn't look like it. Just trees mostly. Right, what is that? It looks like either a tree or a power line. Okay. I think we're about as clear as we're gonna get. Oh man, we got some air-to-air kills overhead. Wonder who killed who. That's pretty interesting. Cool. That's very cool. Okay, so steer point 7. So once we get in the vicinity of steer point 7, we'll contact that JTAC I was talking about before. Oh boy. So I'm not sure if we passed Irish or not. I honestly can't remember which mountain it is. There's kind of an orientation flight that you go through in the earlier stages of the campaign, but I didn't really pay as good of attention as I should have, probably. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn to the north. Get lined up with waypoint 7.
Spike, 12 o'clock. Pontiac, tally bandit at Bulls 058 for 6. Spike, 12 o'clock.
Well, I'm surprised that we're not getting any warnings from these radars
Dodge 1, passing Irish.
overhead. Hopefully we won't. If we do, I'm not going to worry way too much about it. We'll save our chaff and flares for once we actually get on target, unless we get an indication, missile launch indication right here. It'll flash red if we're being shot at. Hopefully, if it's an IR missile, we may have absolutely no warning at all. We're just going to hope that those aren't out there.
4, that's it.
Four minutes and 35 seconds. So soon our guys will start calling the...
Contact, Dahmer target, 1
Yep,
o'clock.
there he goes.
Contact air defense target, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock at 33 miles. Okay, so now,
12 o'clock.
yeah, we're getting tickled.
2, Spike, 12 o'clock.
So what I'll do, we're in program D, just pop some
Contact, Dahmer, contact air defense target, 12 o'clock.
chaff and flares. You can see those falling there.
2, contact armor target, 12 o'clock. 4, 3, 2.
Roger.
Dodge 4.
Okay, so we're in the vicinity of the farms at this point. So what I'll do is I'll look for the road. Okay, there's the road. We'll pop some more chaff and flares.
2, Spike, 12 o'clock.
I'll just follow this road right on up.
2, contact armor target, 12 o'clock. 4, 2, 9.
And I'd expect to see the column in this general vicinity out here. We'll set that point and set our SPI out there as well. Switch the TGP to this display and then get MAV on the right hand one. Slave the MAVs to the SPI, and we will wait. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get in touch with this JTAC, because they tend to take for absolutely freaking ever.
This is Hog 214 A-10. Papa Bravo 3 4 6 5 at 14,000. I have AGM 65D. CBU 97. 4,006. Time on station is 0 plus 15. Available for tasking. What do you have for us? Pontiac 1, mission complete. We are RTB. Hog 2 1. This is Moonbeam 1 1. Tight point in effect. Advise and ready for 9 line.
Okay, let's pick up the 9 line. Probably won't actually enter it or anything like that. It's a bit much.
2, Mud Spike, 12 o'clock.
Eventually he's going to give us our 9 line,
2,
I would think.
Spike, 12 o'clock. 2, Spike, 12 o'clock.
Looks like there's a hill there. So what I'm actually going to do...
Warning, autopilot.
Pontiac, tally bandit at bullseye 056 for 50 at 22,000.
Deploy some chaff. I'm going to turn out to this direction.
Dodge 1, fenced in.
And that should allow us to see over that ridge line a little better. Yeah. I would anticipate to see the convoy. Oh, there they are, actually. Alright, one is visual on the armor. Let's look for a SA-19. Those are the T-90s. Okay, I'm going to flip over to sensor point, or to 8 right now. Let's go ahead and mark our SPI. And there's the SA-19. Okay, so there's at least one SA-19.
Pontiac, passing waypoint 8 at 22,000.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn inbound to the convoy.
Warning, autopilot.
About 17 miles out at this point. We've got our AGM-65D cooking. I'll slave it to the SPI. That didn't appear to work at all. Have to be very careful about how we do this. Okay, there's the SA-19. Going close. Should be able to track him once we get a little closer. Make that my SPI. Slave the nav over there. Okay. He's going to be probably concealed by terrain. So, let's look at the remaining. Okay, so there's another SA-19 right there. So we got to get a shot on that guy as well. Let's see how far out we are. So this is where things kind of start to get very busy. So I'm keeping an eye on that other SA-19. It's a bit closer to us, but we got a better angle on this one. And we'll disengage for the second shot. Okay, we're 9 miles out. I would expect to get a range indication on this Maverick pretty shortly here. May actually be farther than that out there. Okay, there we go, 10 miles. Okay, so if we don't have a lock by, I'd say probably 7.5, I'm going to break. Maybe 7. Come on. It's IR Maverick, so it should be able to lock from a bit farther out. There we go. Got a lock. Alright, rifle. Alright, we're going to go ahead and come off left. And we'll take a look at him with the targeting pod. We just do not want to get any closer. So I'll flip back over to the TGP. And I will slew this down over and we'll look at that SA-19 some more. There we go. We got a point track on that guy. He should be dead momentarily. Put some distance between us and that other SA-19 for a second shot here. Got to kind of get out and then we'll show him our armpit in a minute. The targeting pods on the outside.
Springfield 1, SA-10 is down.
Oh, splash! Okay, SA-19 is down. We got to get the other one. Okay, second SA-19. Got him on the targeting pod. Zoom in on that guy, see if we can get another point track up. It's very annoying. Okay, let's show him our pits. Got just the top of his head. Looks like, oh man, they're about to be masked behind the road. This is not the best angle. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have my wingman actually go in.
Warning, autopilot.
And he's going to engage the air defense at my SPI with a missile, and he's going to do that from the east.
2. Engage air defenses at my SPI with Maverick from the east. 2. Copy. 2. Rejoin.
Okay, so he's not going to be able to. So basically he's just trying to tell us he's not close enough. So we're gonna turn to engage. See if I can get a good lock on this. Okay, we're about 10 miles out. Second SA-19. Gotta cut off.
On the way, off to the east.
So they're very well masked. So the road is actually behind this mountain here. Okay, and that's going to be the lead tank in the convoy coming out. So because we're masked, we're actually alright for right this second. Let's go ahead and make a SPI here, and then we will slave the MAV on over. Alright, and I want to be on that last vehicle in that convoy as it comes out. Oh, we can actually... Okay, those are the IFVs, so we already took out the SAM on that convoy. Okay, so we need to have a very clear indication that this is going to be the last vehicle. Don't want to shoot at a...
Springfield 3, SA-15
Okay.
at Northern Airfield is
Come
down.
on, there we go. Rifle. Alright, let's
Warning,
break off.
autopilot.
Okay. And there's the SA-19. Let's watch him until he is dead. We are not going to get any closer to the convoy than we just did. It's basically just kind of hit and run tactics, I guess you'd call them. Ooh, SA-19 is down. Yep, that was him. Okay, good. So we killed the SA-19s. That's fantastic. So the rest of this mission is actually a lot easier because we can just come in
Dodge
with
4,
CBUs.
on the way, off to the east.
And the IFVs and the T-90s are not going to be nearly as capable of defending themselves against a aerial threat. We do still have to be careful, though. You can definitely get shot down.
Dodge 4, IP, running in.
Okay, let me get a SPI set up here on something. Okay, there's the armor column. The IFVs will be behind that. I would like to go to the lead vehicle. We'll go just a bit in front of him, make that our SPI.
Dodge 3, IP, running in.
Set up CCRP on our bombs. Okay, I'm actually going to move that just a bit up the road. Okay, we're actually pretty close to the release point here, so I'm not going to make any further modifications. Alright, I'm holding the weapon release button. One bomb away. We'll pull out the TGP, and they can't really hit us from here, so this is kind of what I was talking about. It's going to take that bomb a long time to fall that far, though, so we may actually miss the majority of them.
Dodge 3, bombs away, off to the east.
Okay, so alternatively, what I can also do here is have the wingman engage the armor with unguided bombs, and we'll be doing the engagement from the west.
2, engage armor at my speed with unguided bombs from the west. 2, affirm. 2, rejoin.
Okay, so he's having
2, RTB.
trouble, which is kind of irritating because it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, there goes the cluster bomb. All right, looks like it's getting their heads down at the very least, so that's good. So we'll keep that as our SPI. We'll dial up another CPU run. Okay, so right now we're 4.1 miles out. I'm going to descend. Not always advisable. I need to stay away from the farms, though, because apparently there are special forces in that vicinity, according to the mission brief. Okay, so we're 5.5 out. I'm gonna expedite our descent rate, get the air brakes out. Okay, looks like we got some good effect here. I'm gonna see if I can get 2 to engage again.
armor. 2, affirm.
Okay, so I guess he just needed the
2, engaging target.
more general command than that. I don't know. Okay, we are in CCIP mode. That's not good.
2, running in. 2, missile away.
What is going on here? Okay, they're way up there. This is as low as I'm gonna get though. Invalid fusing, that means we're too low.
2, missile away.
Oh, he's actually engaging with AGMs. That's
2,
fine.
missile away.
Whatever, man, you do you. Invalid
2,
fusing
missile
again.
away.
Alright, I have to be higher. Come on.
2, rounds on target.
Rounds on target. Oh yeah.
Rounds on target.
Let's see that splash.
2, target destroyed.
Roger. Alright. Let's get this on over. Come on now. Come on.
2, rounds on target.
Alright. That should be a good release. There we go. Alright, and we will come off without stalling. Need to get our air brakes back in.
Dodge 2, fence out.
Pull. I don't think the actual Bradley column has been hit yet, but they're about to be. Let's get a little right turn here. A visual on that column. So I've got 2 CBUs left after that drop. We'll see what this does, and then we'll just go from there. I anticipate this will have pretty good effect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. Sweet. Okay. What I'd now like to do would be to hit the IFVs.
2, running in.
2 is still engaging. I will go in for a run as well. Sure, that's not correct protocol, but whatever. Alright, I am 2.4 miles out. This is going to have to be a quick engagement. Let's get that point a little bit up. I'd like to lead those guys. 200 yards or so. Okay, we got to be in CCRP.
Port side for plus 40 volt.
Come on. Alright. Oh no. Our fusing went invalid. Oh, that's terrible. That's okay. Alright, I'm gonna have 2 rejoin.
Join up. 2, rejoin.
Cool. So let's... We gotta get some ordnance on those IFVs. They're getting awfully close to the farm. They're not really, but
Dodge 4, fence out.
what time is it? Okay, we still got 10 minutes on target. Good to go. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up. Make that SPI. I'm gonna actually come back around to the left here for this last drop. Or second to last drop. We're still in CCRP on the CBUs, so that's good. If I don't go down below this altitude at all today, I'll be just fine with that. We've still got 2 AGM-65s as well, so that's good. If we decide to hit the secondaries. If not, we'll just use them to splash the Bradleys, or the whatever, the IFVs. Okay. aim for that point, that turn in the road. We're gonna pull up. Alright, release. Okay, one away. We'll pop some chaff and flares just to let them know we're up here. Jeez, the T-90s are just decimated. There are probably only 2 that are not dead down there, and they've certainly been hit. That first CBU strike is right on top of them. Go ahead and dial up another. Just depending on what happens here. Looks like they're going to be about where I dropped that bomb. Yes, good impact. Oh yeah. Very nice. Alright, let's get ready to re-attack here. Or just follow that same exact route in. .7 miles. I know airplane. I have to turn somehow though, don't I? Getting progressively lighter here. So this is our last CBU. We'll basically be probably take one Maverick shot at the leading vehicle in the convoy to try and get them to stop, and then we'll have 3 and 4 drop some CBUs on those guys. Only got 5 minutes left on station, so we might not be hitting those secondary targets. It's taking too long out here. It's because I'm not a very good Warthog pilot, I think. Okay. Alright, come on. So you want to have the impact point and the guide like pretty much coincident. Yeah, about like that. That'll do. One away. Okay, we are empty on CBUs. Okay, convoy's coming. We'll see how this does. Should get a hit here, I would think. Maybe I'm not leading them quite enough. Could also be that my aim's not so good. Alright, let's get the AGMs set up. So switch back to the TGP on the left and FD. Zoom in on the lead vehicle in the convoy. Get this guy back to... Oh, that's not good. Not actually sure where that's coming from. That's gotta hit. Come on. Well, it looked like it did, but maybe not. Not sure why I'm missing these shots here. That's okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go to re-engage with the Mavericks this time. So make our SPI there. And we'll see if we can get the heads down on the IFVs, and then we'll engage them with the CBUs that 3 and 4 have left. Okay, got 3 minutes left to do that. We have to stay on station just a little bit longer, that's okay. You have plenty of gas. Alright, I am going to swing out this way, and then we will kind of re-engage to the south. Getting low on chaff and flares as well, so we gotta be careful about that. Might as well fire my remaining 2 Hellfires, or AGMs. I don't think we're gonna have time to hit the other targets. So here we go. Okay. One's in from the northeast. Come on, one. What are you doing? There we go. No, that's not a good lock. There we go. Rifle. Rifle. Alright, we are officially out of everything but guns at this point. So we're going to see what happens on the TGP. If we can get their heads down.
Springfield 1, Southwest GCI is down.
Where did the convoy go? Probably too close. Yeah, those are good hits. Alright, 2 are dead. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bore sight the TGP here because I'm not actually sure where it got to. And then we will have either 2, 3, or 4 go in and hit those targets. So I'm pointing right there. Alright, let's slew right over there. And they're not head down. They're just carrying right on along like nothing happened. Okay, so let's make a SPI. What are we tracking? Like, what are you tracking right now? Okay, that's our SPI. And we're going to have 1, engage those guys with unguided bombs, and he will come in from the north.
2, engage armor at my speed with unguided bombs from the north. 2, roger. 2, rejoin.
Aw, come on, dude.
2, RTB.
He's not going to do it. Alright, I'm going to have him just go in then. Engage armor.
Engage armor.
Alright, we'll have the second elements.
2, engaging target.
Whoops. Let's go back to the previous menu.
3, engage armor.
There we go.
3, engaging target.
So we are a lot lighter now. Go ahead and get the TGP on the right MFD. Switch back over to the TAD.
4, running in. 2, running in.
Everybody's running in but me. Gotta let my guys get some kills. Where
3, running in.
is that column?
3, missile away.
Roger.
4, missile away. 4, missile away.
What is that? Oh, we got a launch.
4, 3, missile away. 2, bombs away.
That's not good. We're getting shot at.
4,
Might actually be picking up friendly Mavericks. I think that's what's happening.
3, rounds on target. Rounds on target. 4, rounds on target. 3, missile away.
They're right there. On the road.
3, rounds on target. 4, running in. 2, running in.
Go for it, guys.
3, target destroyed.
They're actually hitting different targets, aren't they?
4, bombs away. 3, running in. 3, rounds on target.
I don't think they're hitting who I'm trying to get them to hit. Okay, I'm gonna
3, bombs away.
have them rejoin up on me.
Flight, join up.
Set up the autopilot here. Okay, I don't know who's got
on station, full time, plus 20.
what left. Yeah, we're definitely past our invul time. That's okay. We're going to stay on target and take care of these. Go second element. Engage ground targets. Unguided bombs from the whatever, north.
3. Engage targets of opportunity at my speed with unguided bombs from the north.
Please. Okay, affirm. That means they got it.
Warning, autopilot.
There they go. Okay, so I guess you just had to specify them as ground targets and not armor. I would call an IFV armor, but that's fine. How much gas we got? Okay, we're getting close to bingo. I hope they smack the crap out of these IFVs here. We're gonna have to get out of here after this. Okay, looking at the TAD, it looks like they're going in. So just the SPI. Looks like 3's running in.
Warning, autopilot.
There we go. 4's up next. I'm just gonna keep adjusting that SPI. Got the column. I expect to see some hits here. CBUs are very draggy. It'll take a really long time to actually hit. Alright, we'll see what T's got left. They're not moving. So, they at least got their heads down. We'll go from the south this time.
2. Engage targets of opportunity at my speed with unguided bombs from the south.
There we go. Finally got some kills.
2. Affirm. 2. Rejoin.
There we go.
2. RTB.
Okay, 2's not gonna do it. Alright, their heads are down. Let's get 3 and 4 back in there then. They should be able to finish this. Ground targets, unguided bombs from the south.
3. Engage targets of opportunity at my speed with unguided bombs from the south. 3. Affirm.
Warning, autopilot.
So I guess when they say affirm, that just means that they've got the bombs that they can actually do it. Alright, I'm gonna switch over to guns here. Because we gotta get something on these IFVs. What? Don't rejoin. Looks like 4's coming in. Don't drop a bomb on us, dude.
4, rejoin.
Okay, 2 miles is the range for the gun, so... Yep. Come off right. Yeah, I really didn't want to have to go to guns on these guys, but I don't think we've technically accomplished the mission yet. We were on target longer than we should be. Okay. Good news is our Warthog's pretty light now. Without all that cumbersome weapon weight. Oh, we got some good hits there. Okay. Alright, guys. Time to hit these dudes. Okay, we're gonna send everybody that's got anything left. Ground targets. We should have missiles, right?
Flight. Engage targets of opportunity at my speed with Maverick from the south. 2, copy.
2's not gonna be able to. 3 and 4 can though. I don't think they'll fire their maps. Oh no. Is everybody out? I don't actually know how to check that. Okay, let's try and
Rejoin.
have them do it with bombs then.
2, RTB. Flight. Engage targets of opportunity
Warning,
at my speed
autopilot.
with unguided bombs from the south. 2,
Okay,
2, rejoin.
at least
2, RTB.
3 can. I can't be the only one. I don't know. Maybe they actually are out of weapons. Damn. What's going on here, guys? Come on. Okay.
Flight. Engage targets of opportunity I speak with unguided bombs. Two, affirm. Two, rejoin.
Okay, so 2 can't.
Two, RTB.
Some like burning SA-10s out there or something. Go ahead and turn back in.
Warning, autopilot.
3 and 4 are definitely going for an engagement, I think. So I guess we'll just hang out. Get some more altitude here. So long as those IFVs stay there, they're pretty much done for. I cannot get this airplane to trim. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dial up the fence out waypoint. Do like one last orbit here, and then we gotta get off target. This is gonna be a very long video, unfortunately. Just kind of the nature of it. Looks like they are RTB, man. What is going on here? Alright. Whatever.
Warning, autopilot.
Well, can't go home with any ammo left, so we'll do what we can about this. So they will be heads up. This is going to be a lot more difficult run than the last one, for sure. Get a quick burst here. And we will get off target. Okay, we still got some rounds left. Oh, hey. Are 3 and 4 back? You can't tell what range I'm looking at here. That's alright. Let's get back in and hit those guys again. Everybody gets a little love. Yeah, negative effect. Huh. Well, mission's not over yet. We could have 2 going with guns, I guess.
Engage targets of opportunity at my speed with gun.
Speed brake. Speed brake.
Oh, yep.
2, copy. 2, rejoin.
Oh, come on, man.
2, RTB.
Okay, I guess everybody's just done with that. That's fine. We'll go ahead and RTB then. It's a pretty good mission. I mean, we took out like 9 T-90s and the majority of the Bradley column. So, or the IFV column. I'll go in for one last gun run on these guys, and then we will RTB. Again, a very lengthy combat mission. Well, I'm sure it's not that bad compared to an actual combat mission, but it's a long time for me to sit in a chair and play this game. Alright, we are Winchester. Alright, let's bring it back around to the steer point. Looks like there's the IFVs, and there might be 1 or 2 T-90s that made it out. That's okay. What can you do? Any mission you can walk away from is a good mission, I guess. Although we are not out of the woods yet. We got to get home first. Okay, what are 3 and 4 doing? I need you guys to rejoin, man.
Flight, join up.
That's very strange. It's like nobody's listening to me for some reason. You guys are familiar with DCS and know why that is. Please do let me know. 'Cause that's a little bit strange. All right, let's climb up to
Warning, autopilot.
15,000 feet here. I'm actually going to come off via Caliente. It's going to be a lot closer for us, and since we've spent a lot of gas, it's probably for the best. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what 3 and 4 are doing. I guess they got to their invul time and they were just out of there. Okay, 50,000 feet should be plenty. Just go ahead and put her on cruise. And we will RTB. Just in case the flight is now listening. I'll see if there's any way to just inform them to RTB. Guess not. Weird. Okay, we'll just have them all rejoin them.
Flight, join up.
Are their radios not working or something? Maybe they got hit. That might be what's going on. Not super sure. Okay, well, anyway, we are now looking at a flight back to Nellis. So we'll come back in pretty much on the reciprocal of what we did before, except when we get to around this point, we'll actually pop down in this direction to what's called Apex for an approach on probably runway 21. I'm not sure. We'll see once we get closer and talk to the Nellis controller what the wind's doing. Doing the battle damage check. Doesn't look like we got hit, so that's a success for sure. Very good. What the hell is my second element up to? Like, what are you guys doing? I don't think... I don't think they're moving. Maybe they got shot down. Oh no. Unless that's them up there. There's just no way. That's gotta be another flight. It is. Yeah, I think they got schwacked. Oh man, that's terrible. Well, okay. Well, we lost half our flight. Oh, that's an undesirable outcome if I've ever seen one. That's okay. Whatever, we made it, right? So that's actually the first time that I've ever done that mission without getting killed, so that's cool. I'm definitely learning, you know, just a little bit at a time. DCS is certainly not something that that you can just pick up and play immediately. It takes a bit of groundwork to get to the point where you're comfortable. And even then, you have to be very, very smart about how you handle certain situations. I want to see, just real fast, if there's any way that I can sue on over to other members of the flight. I don't think so. Weird. Okay, so once we hit Caliente, then we will turn to the south for about 10 minutes, and inbound Apex and Nellis. So we're about 13 minutes out from Nellis, so that's cool. No big deal, pretty short flight. Probably had actually more than enough gas for a few more re-engagements. I'm kind of wondering when that happened. I wonder if that happened when I just had them kind of go into engage like general targets, or if it was when I was trying to get them to drop bombs on the speed. Maybe they overflew the farms. Don't know. Have to go back and watch the track. That's one really cool feature about DCS, is that you can just kind of at the end of it, there's a mission replay feature, which is very nice. Kind of lets you see everything that happened. I think you can actually kind of take stuff back over as well if you are so inclined. Checking for hung stores. There don't appear to be any. Cool. So we didn't quite use all our chaff and flares. Still got a bit more. Okay, once we turn to the south here, I'm going to go ahead and fence out. Alright.
Warning, autopilot.
Okay, so fence out, we're going to go ahead, master arm off, gun pack to safe, laser arm to safe, leave the TGP on for right now, just in case we have to assess a threat, and the countermeasures can go to standby for the approach into Nellis. So this probably won't be a extremely popular video. I'm sure that a lot of the people who are into the X-Plane 11 stuff probably aren't into to DCS quite as much, because it is a bit it's a different flavor for sure. I will say that. But I appreciate you guys, especially if you've watched to this point in the video, because I know it's got to be a little bit dull. It's fun if you're flying it though, for sure. Where is 2 at? It's like... He's off our right wing. Oh, I've got him. Way back there. Be interesting to see if he's taking damage or what. I wonder if we can check that. Cass, Hog T2. I don't really see any information about him other than that. 360 heading 191. Okay, guess we won't be able to. Once we kind of get into Nellis, we'll have to talk to the A-10C and make sure they don't want us to go to my secondary or something, which I guess would be like Creech out here. It's actually where they fly all the Predator missions, Creech and Nellis, which is pretty cool. So the, what are they called, the 15th and the 17th recon units are based out this way. And this is actually where they have Red Flag every year, I guess. It's a very large kind of training exercise that all the Air Force and Marine Corps and the Navy participate in. It's pretty cool. Well done to DCS for making this a campaign. It's really excellent, I will say. No indications. Looks like we didn't take any damage. Engine gauges look good. Fuel flow is good. We're just trying to get home to hit the bars, I guess. It's what pilots do after a long day of training, losing 2 of their flight. Track IR. It's not glitchy at all. Okay, let's see how much longer we got to know us. Okay, 8 minutes. I'm not going to cut this. I'll just leave it. It's less work for me that way. That way you guys can can tell that I didn't die. It'll be one continuous shot for the entire mission. How far out can you zoom? Pretty far. Oh, that's how you go to the other members of your flight. You hit F2. So this is 2. I bet we can see ourselves. Yep. So 2 is fine. So this is just kind of how you go through friendly units, I guess. There's one of the F-15s. This is a Strike Eagle. Oh, sweet. Picking up some gas. I wonder where the tanker track is. I actually don't know the answer to that. There's some Hornets, low level. Some guys back at Nellis. And just some F-15s on the ground. Sweet. So you can kind of see all the airplanes that are being rendered, updated, tracked by the engine. Pretty cool. All that's going on simultaneously. Alright, okay, turn them to the west, or the east.
Warning, autopilot.
Gotta remember to disengage the autopilot before I turn so it doesn't do that. It's kind of irritating.
Warning, autopilot. Warning, autopilot.
Okay, we gotta trim some nose down. Guess we're getting a little light here. £4,000 of gas left. We'll flip off the TGP. Okay, we're only 6 minutes out from Nellis. Let's go ahead and see if we can report inbound.
Hog 2-1, inbound. Hog 2-1, fly heading 171-425, QFE 28.18, runway 21, to pass altitude.
Whoops, don't want to do that with the autopilot on, buddy. 2818. I'm actually going to disregard his heading. Just take it in on the actual mission planning. because there are certain areas out here that we're not supposed to violate the airspace or we'll get in deep trouble. I think you'll actually have a mission fail. So I'm just going to stick to the steer points. Not too much farther anyway. Probably have to go trail just so that he can land.
Flight, go trail. Roger.
And there he goes, breaking off. I guess he's just gonna do a big old whoop, come back. Alright, gonna go ahead and start descending down. Since we're getting close. It's gonna be like a 2-hour video. Jeez. Might break it up into 2 parts. I probably won't do that. Just keep it all. It's the good stuff anyway. Should be able to see Nellis pretty shortly. Okay, let's turn inbound to Apex. I'm not going to bother setting up the TACAN or anything like that. It's kind of pointless in these conditions. The ILS or anything. Yeah, there's Nellis way out there. Okay, so if we don't get any further calls from Nellis telling us to go over to tower, we're just going to go ahead and land. Occasionally we'll not do that. Okay, two's in trail. Alright, 19 miles to Nellis. Land, runway 21 left. Today. And you should have a switch over to tower anytime now. Go ahead and get the air brakes out and bleed off some of this excess speed. You can see they won't actually deploy that far until we slow down a bit. There we go.
Hog 2-1. Request navigation assistance.
Let's see if I can get them to switch us over to tower. That's an air brake warning. Okay, still no indication. Alright, air brakes are down. Go back to idle. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the gear out. That'll help us slow down a bit more. You can see Vegas out in the distance. I guess that's where we're going to end up today. Okay, cool. Alright, over to tower.
Hog 2-1. Request landing.
Flaps 1. Go flaps 2. Alright, landing configuration is confirmed. Gonna slide right.
Hog 2-1. Request landing.
Come on, man. There we go.
Clear to land.
Sweet.
Runway 21. Wind 281 at 7 meters per second.
Alright, cleared to land. Hog 2-1. Runway 21 left. Wind's 281. That's good. Definitely am crabbing in that direction, so that would make sense. There's the racetrack. You can typically see cars going around. Oh yeah, you can. That's so cool. That's so cool. Alright, where is our parking? Think it's out there on the V, so we'll go about halfway down.
Altitude.
Looks like there's an airplane on the freaking active. I think there is. And it looks like he is coming at us. Maybe he's landing. I can't really tell. I can't believe that they would clear me to land with a airplane on the active. Yep, they sure did. Look at that. Unbelievable. What's up, dude? Well, that shouldn't have happened, obviously. But that's okay. Didn't specify a runway. Hopefully 2 gets down alright. Gonna have a very nasty talk to the nose controller when I get out of here. And the really bad thing about that was, had I hit him, I would have died. Like, I actually would have crashed. Aircraft collision absolutely does happen in this game, so... Oh well. Okay, so I think it's, yeah, it's this way to parking. Go ahead and close out the A-10C menu. Yeah, I'm doing that. You almost killed me, by the way. Freaking dick. Alright, so T's down safely, I think. We'll check on him. There's 2 more Warthogs right there, so I'm not sure if... There's no way that's 3 and 4. I think they, like, legitimately crashed. Or maybe they RTB'd. I don't know. Pretty sure they crashed. Pick out a spot. It's fine, no issue. Go this way. Get like line abreast with these other guys. Just go ahead and brake. Okay, now we'll go through the shutdown procedures. Alright, so first thing we want to do here is get the APU fired up. We'll wait for that. While that's going on, we can go ahead and shut down the radios and stuff. So radio off, off, off. Okay, go ahead and switch off the autopilot and the radar altimeter. APU. Should be online. Go ahead and get the APU generator on. Recenter my track IR. Yeah, shouldn't be doing that. Okay, master caution off. Alright, let's flip off our stability augmentation. I know. Okay. Shutdown 1. I'm just not going to bother with that. Everything's good there. Okay, anti-skid off, lights are off. Okay, shut down 2 now. I know it. Recage the altimeter. Or, I'm sorry, the attitude indicator. I know you're upset with me. I'm trying to shut you down, though. This track IR is giving me a lot of issues. Come on. Okay, there we go. That's gonna elicit a master caution. Alright, go ahead and turn off the defog. Stop the oxygen flow. We'll get the ILS and the TACAN turned off. Position lights should be off. Okay, I think that's actually everything with the exception of the fuel booster pumps. So we can go ahead and actually shut down the APU, the inverter, battery, APU's off. And the pumps come off, and we can go ahead and disarm the ejector seat and climb out. So again, something a little bit different today. Flying the A-10C Warthog in DCS in a combat mission. Just to say thank you to you guys for 1,000 subs. I really do appreciate that. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see more DCS. And if you really liked it, get subscribed for more content just like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.